I know stress. I also know anxiety. They are as familiar to me as breathing. They happen involuntarily. Okay, stress is a part of life, but it's how we manage it that makes all the difference. And over the years, I have learned there are really 5 key things that help me effectively manage stress and therefore reduce anxiety. And when I stop doing these things, which happens fairly often, I can see this distinct domino effect that occurs that one thing after another leads to me really crumbling under that stress and being enveloped by that anxiety that I know all too well. In this hustle society, this hustle generation is so undervalued. And I remember 10 years or so ago talking to someone about sleep, and I said, I really don't need more than 5 hours of sleep. I'm tough. And my whole life, I had survived on a very little number of hours every night because of my life situation, growing up as a child of an alcoholic and in a dysfunctional environment. I never made the connection between my high levels of anxiety and constantly feeling like I was not in control of anything in my life was directly connected to me not taking good care of myself, starting with the foundation of that, which is getting enough sleep. Now, everyone is different, and some people say that they just cannot sleep more than 4 or 5 hours a night and they just don't need it. And that might be true, but for me personally, I can see a direct connection between getting not enough sleep and my ability to function properly. And if you haven't read Arianna Huffington's The Sleep Revolution, I highly recommend that you do. And there are some other great books on the topic too. And you will recognize that while we wish it weren't so, your body requires a good amount of sleep. Your mind requires a good amount of sleep. And for me, that is the foundation of my whole life. When I don't get enough sleep, I am not on my A game. I don't feel in control. My day just starts off usually late. I'm constantly struggling to keep up with things, and very quickly, within a few hours of the start of my day, I am not feeling very well. When I get enough sleep, I am a better writer, leader, friend, sister, daughter, neighbor. I'm just an overall better human being when I've had enough sleep because I can effectively manage that stress and my anxiety is at a manageable level. When I don't have that is when everything falls apart and it's so much harder for me to function. Now, considering that I've been a night owl for most of my life because of how I grew up and the way that my brain was programmed, this has taken significant effort to learn how to ensure that I do get enough sleep. So this includes reducing the amount of screen time that I have at night, taking walks, drinking chamomile tea, not doing things that cause me to get worked up or anxious, such as watching the news, reading, writing, doing all the things that I love to do that puts me in a good mood and state of mind. Melatonin when I'm having trouble actually falling asleep, making sure that my bedroom is calming and relaxing. I've put the time and study into ensuring that I can fall asleep when I need to in order to get enough sleep. Today, a lot of people rely on me for many different things, personally and professionally, and so I really have to put a lot of work into making sure that I am prioritizing taking good care of myself. With all these people needing me to do things, relying on me, it's only natural that the first client to fall off of the priority list is me. And that domino effect starts with making a decision like working later, which then limits my time to do other things that are good for me, such as not having time to go on a long walk, or skipping meals, or eating not the right foods, not drinking enough water, not getting enough sleep. For me, this is different from exercise. I really get a lot of joy and serenity and peace from walking outside with my dog, Rocco. This is a leisurely, peaceful stroll that really frees my mind, it relaxes me, it grounds me. I have some of the best decision-making and thoughtful path setting when I'm out on a walk. And science says that it's true. There's a direct correlation between spending time outside and getting sunshine and fresh air and your mood and your ability to manage stress and anxiety. So I am an ardent believer in creating a list. In my professional life, at work, I can easily get overwhelmed by my always tall to-do list. And so I create a list of the top 5 things that I must get done that day. And that helps me prioritize and make decisions so that no matter what happens, I'm not walking out of there without doing those 5 things. And then personally, making a list helps me make decisions that are aligned with what I know is my only job in life, which is to take good care of me. This helps me stay on the path to make sure that I am still focused on and making decisions in support of building the life that I want and deserve. This is a lifelong tool for me. It will always be with me. When I was a little girl growing up in a dysfunctional environment with an alcoholic mother, I found an escape in books. I loved the way it would transport me into another world when I read those stories, when I read those words. It was such a great, relaxing distraction from what was going on around me. I also started writing screenplays and stories myself because it gave me a sense of control, a sense of being able to solve problems for characters in the way that I wished I could in my own life, but couldn't. I found so much peace and cathartic healing in that. I also started writing in diaries and journals, and I could share those feelings on the page that I worked hard to hide in my real life. And to this day, books and writing and reading are absolutely perhaps just as important to me as sleep, if not more, in my ability to manage stress and anxiety and find healing from everything that's going on in my life. Today, with social media and the internet, I find so much inspiration and healing from the words of others, from social media and podcasts and audiobooks. I found these new ways to consume words. Go get yourself some good words and block out those negative words because they are there. You need to turn down the volume on that and turn up the volume on the words that are going to bring you up and inspire you and help you get on the path of creating the life that you want and deserve. And an extra one that I'll throw in here is learn to say no. Now this is such a hard one for me because I am a people pleaser. I don't like to disappoint. I always put other people before me. I am the martyr. The list goes on because I am an adult child of an alcoholic with all kinds of things going on as a result of that. But I have learned that if I don't say no, then I am failing to take good care of myself, which is my only job in life. And so I need to be realistic with my time and energy, and if I don't, I can very, very quickly find myself in a situation where I have next to 0 time and energy left over for me, and that starts the domino effect. So learning how to be realistic and say no in support of you. I wish you freedom from the grips of stress and anxiety. I hope you are so well and that you are actively building the life that you want and deserve. Take good care.